Hey, this is Miller from Creator and you're watching Rock and Metal News.
Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News, and this is the Rock and Metal News Top 30 Albums for 2017. And we have kind of a mixture of genres in this, but most of it is metal. We got some death metal in there, we got some metalcore, we got some deathcore, and just sort of the heavier albums, and a couple that aren't so heavy that kind of snuck in there, as well as kind of some surprises for 2017, but was another amazing year of music. I'm going to talk about some of the albums and maybe just give you a couple of tracks if you haven't heard of the album or haven't really checked it out. A couple of songs that you might want to check out off the album that can give you an idea of what the bands are like. But let's start off. For the top 30, number 30 is Goatwhore, Vengeful Ascension. They put out, I think, probably their best album. I thought this one was a lot groovier than some of their later albums, and it was still really heavy, but it just had a little bit more sort of heavy groove to it. Check out Vengeful Ascension, Mankind Will Have No Mercy, and there's just a lot of good growls, a lot of melody in this one. And number 29 was Demon Hunter, Outlive. Check out Died in My Sleep and Cold Winter Sun. Just amazing songwriting and great vocals in that band. Number 28 was a bit of a surprise, and it was Shrapnel, Raised on Decay. They just put out a super heavy, great album. Really lots of thrash elements in there. Check out the songs Pariah and Complete Resection. Number 27 was Fit for an Autopsy, The Great Collapse. This is just a super heavy, good crunchy album, and it's just recorded really well. Check out the songs Heads Will Hang, Black Mammoth, and Iron Moon. Number 26 was Cavalera Conspiracy, Psychosis. I thought they really went back to their heavier roots on this album, and I really enjoyed it. It was just a lot heavier and a little bit more raw, and check out the songs Insane and Spectral War. Number 25 was Iced Earth, Incorruptible. What great vocals, what amazing songwriting, and this Iced Earth just really keeps you interested in all their songs. Check out Great Heathen Army, Raven Wing, and Seven-Headed Whore. Number 24 was The Faceless in Becoming a Ghost. I thought they just put out a really good album, and it's like this prog sort of death metal-ish, deathcore kind of album, it was really interesting. I just really loved the prog style in this, and there's just some great guitar work and some great trade-offs on vocals. Check out Digging the Grave, I Am an Instrumental Illness. Number 23 was Body Count, Bloodlust. Man, if you are angry and you have any angst or political anger at the moment, pick up Body Count, Bloodlust, and just break things and destroy things and be real mad, because this is what this album is about. There's a bunch of guests on this as well. Check out the song Civil War, Dave Mustaine from Megadeth guests, Walk With Me, Randy from Lamb of God guests on that track, and All Love Is Lost, Max Cavalera guests on that one. Number 22, Infernal Majesty. If you haven't heard this album, check it out. It's called No God, and if you're a big Slayer fan and kind of an older, Slayer type music or thrash elements that you like, that kind of album, check out this band, Infernal Majesty, No God. Check out Enter the World of the Undead and In God You Trust. Number 21 was Moore's Principium EST, Embers of a Dying World. Man, what a great album this is, and it has some really cool synth, really great song structures, and check out the song Reclaim the Sun. Number 20 was one of the thrash masters of all time, Overkill, The Grinding Wheel. They just always put out something good. They have a amazing frontman. If you ever check these guys out live, they are just so cool. They're so solid. Check out Mean Green Killing Machine, Our Finest Hour, and Goddamn Trouble. Number 19 was Soen. like Heya. This band features Martin Lopez, former Opeth drummer. And if you like Tool, if you like Opeth, you're going to like Soen. They have a sound just like Tool and Opeth kind of mixed together. Check out the song Sectarian and Lucidity. Number 18 was my basically favorite deathcore album of the year, and that was Shadow of Intent Reclaimer. Just tons of great music on this, lots of great guitar work. I love the song structures, and it just kept my interest for a while and throughout the year, and I just kept listening to this over and over, and there was always something in there that would grab me. Check out The Heretic Prevails, The Horror Within. Number 17 was Havoc Conformicide. This, man, was just an old school thrash type sounding album. It reminded me of super old school Megadeth. I bet you Dave Mustaine loved this album. The bass playing in this is just insane. It probably is one of the best bass played albums in 2017, and it can rank up there among some of the best of all time. It's unreal. So check out Havoc Conformicide, check out Hang 'em High, Dogmatical, and FPC. Number 16 was Byzantine, The Cicada Tree. Just a super solid album. They had some really nice crunchy guitar, some great melody in their songs, just really interesting tracks. Check out Map of the Creator, Trapjaw, and Incremental. Number 15 was Paradise Lost, Medusa. I thought this was a really great album. This had elements of some older school sort of black metalish sounds, and almost like it's in some songs reminded me of Type O Negative feel. But check out The Longest Winter and Blood and Chaos. And number 14 was August Burns Red, Phantom Anthem. Just always put out solid albums. I love their guitar playing, love their production, and I love the way they structure their songs where they're super heavy and they have acoustic stuff in there, and they really can bring songs up and down. Check out Invisible Enemy and The Frost. Number 13, bit of a surprise this year, Paramaze, Contingent. This just had a lot of melody in it. It's heavy, the singing is clean, just and a great vocalist. They had some great melodies, and I just really love this whole album feel and how it went together. Check out Land of Information and A World Divided. Number 12, Enslaved E. Wow, what a great album this was. It's just almost reminded me of like a concept album. These guys just really hit home with this album this year, and there was so much cool stuff in it. It had like lots of prog elements in there. The vocals were great. The song structures were amazing, and it just has so much atmospheric sounds, and I loved it. Check out The River's Mouth and Sacred Horse. Number 11 was Ex Deo. This features the Cataclysm vocalist in this album, in this band, and it's called The Immortal Wars. Wow, what a great album this was. Super heavy. It has definitely a concept to it, and you got to check out the songs The Rise of Hannibal and The Roman. Number 10. So we're in our top 10 now. Number 10, I didn't even know they were putting this album out, but it was such a great album and a big surprise. It was The Dark Element, and it is self-titled The Dark Element. The band features former Nightwish vocalist Annette Olzon and Finnish guitarist and songwriter Jani Lematainen. Wow, what a great songwriting in this. Excellent song structures, and her voice is just so great. Check out My Sweet Mystery and The Dark Element and Dead to Me. Great album, and lots of good keys. It really sounds like Nightwish, so if you're a Nightwish fan, definitely check that out. Number 9, and this came out near the beginning of the year, and it just was amazing, I thought. Firewind Immortals. This band features Gus G, the guitarist, who plays with Ozzy, or played with Ozzy anyways, and he is just a fantastic guitar player, just unreal. But this album I thought it was just going to be some, just a regular European sort of power metal album, but no, it isn't. It's so diverse. There is stuff in there. It just had so many different elements. It had like thrash. It had just amazing guitar playing. The songs were all different. They didn't just sort of, blend into each other. It was a really great album. So check that out. And the vocalist is so great on Firewind. Just check it out. The songs Ode to Leonidas, Hands of Time, We Defy, I'm Back on the Throne. Some of it reminded me almost of some old, really fast Dio type stuff. So check it out. Number 8 was Mastodon, Emperor of Sand. Mastodon, with the 3 vocalists, they're amazing musicianship. They're cool song structures. They always put out a great album. They did it again. Braun, I just love his vocals. He's actually one of my favorite vocalists out of the 3, but he's amazing. Check out Sultan's Curse, Show Yourself, and Steam Breather. Number 7 was sort of the surprise of the year. It just kind of came out. Power Trip, Nightmare Logic. Man, what a great solid album from start to finish. It had so many great, almost like thrash, hardcore-ish elements in it, and I just love the rawness of it. Check out Executioner's Tax, Swing the Axe, Soul Sacrifice, and Waiting Around to Die. Just this album you can just put on and it just flows. It's an awesome, heavy album. Number 6 was Arch Enemy, Will to Power. Oh, I think they put out their second album with Alyssa and it really improved on it. They had just a lot more diversity on this one. They even had some, I thought Alyssa sang more evil in this one. Her voice sounded more evil and demonic a bit in some places. And they had some cleans for her in this one. And with the guitar tandem of Jeff Loomis, who used to play Nevermore, and Michael Amott, wow, I mean, that just really finishes the band off, and they just write great songs. Michael Amott's just an amazing songwriter, and I thought this album was way better than their last one. Check out The World Is Yours, The Eagle Flies Alone, The Race, and Blood in the Water, and First Day in Hell, and you will not be disappointed with those tracks. And number 5, welcome back, Trivium. Trivium, The Sin and the Sentence. Wow, did they ever, from my point of view, really hit hard with a new album? I was a huge Trivium fan back in the day, and I kind of lost, the last couple albums, I kind of lost touch with them, but this, I'm going to go on a limb and say this could be their best album yet. Check out The Sin and the Sentence, Beyond Oblivion, The Heart from Your Hate, and Betrayer. They have new drummer Alex Bent, formerly of Battlecross, and he has just given this band a rebirth. This is just amazing. So check it out, and I think Trivium have a lot of great stuff coming. And number 4, this is my real surprise of the year. I thought this one here is not even super heavy, but I just kept listening to this, and it's Hollywood Undead 5. It just, I don't know, maybe I just listened to so much death metal and thrash and heaviness and metalcore through the year that this album just fit in so good to give it a little bit of a breathing space. But I loved Hollywood Undead 5. I love California Dreamin', Whatever It Takes, Renegade, We Own the Night, Nobody's Watching. I just thought it had so much cool. It reminds me of kind of like a POD type style, and just a lot of different vocalists, a lot of great melodies. And anyways, I have Hollywood Undead as number 4. I really like that album. It's kind of out of my style a bit, but that's what I chose for 4. Number 3, we're getting back into heaviness, and that is Sepultura, Machine Messiah. This is, so go out another limb, and I'm going to say this is the best album Sepultura did with Derek Green on vocals. I thought it was just an amazing song. The album was just amazingly written. They took a bunch of chances with some violin, with some synth, with just a whole bunch of different components of orchestral additions, and the songwriting was great. The guitar playing was just utterly amazing in this album, and I loved all the songs. I thought Derek his vocals were just amazing, and he was really more diverse in this. Yeah, I thought I really enjoyed the Sepultura album. I thought it just blew the last one away. So that's number 3. Number 2 was, wow, this one here. It was definitely a surprise, and it had definitely a huge cast of characters in it. Number 2 was Evolution Uprise. This was the mastermind of Dallas Turner, who brought together so many of the deathcore bands. He's got clean vocals on this. He's got just a ton of stuff. Such a diverse album. There's songs on it. There's a song called Fallout. It features CJ from Thy Art Is Murder and Dickie Allen from Infant Annihilator. It has elements of trapcore in it. He's got another song called The Greada Treaty. Features Adam from Oceano with some cool synth in there. So he's got and Adam does some clean vocals. He does his growls, and they have some synth in it. Then there's a song called Unhallowed, featuring Ben from Shadow of Intent and Colton from Angel Maker. And that just unreal, just kicks, and it's just so different. That's why I really like this album. It was just such a breath of fresh air and such a different sound. It had a lot of synth in it. It had some great guitar work. The vocalists were just amazing. Horror on Park Avenue, a song featuring Dan Watson from Enterprise Earth, Devin Barris from In Motive, and what an amazing singer Devin Barris is, man. You should hear his cleans mixed with Dan Watson's growls in the song Horror on Park Avenue. Just they had some awesome lyrics, really up-to-date lyrics in these tracks. They also feature songs on this album that have members from Amur, The Algorithm, Traitors, and more. They had elements of rap. This album I just love so much because it was so refreshing to hear with all these different sounds. It was neat to see the vocalist try something different, and it just had some really cool synth, and I think there's a lot to come from Evolution. They're definitely the band, the most up-and-coming band of the year for sure. So stay tuned for that band. And now we're at number 1. And number 1 was one of the all-time thrash gods, creator, Gods of Violence. Millet has written another amazing album. Every time Creator puts something out, it just kicks from start to finish, and Gods of Violence did that again. Check out the songs World War Now, Satan is Real, Totalitarian Terror, Fallen Brother, and Hail to the Hordes. Just everything. This just has everything a heavy thrash metal album could give you and what you need, and the guitar work is great, the strong structures are great, and it's just solid throughout. So that is my pick for the best metal album of 2017, Creator, Gods of Violence. Great job, Millet and team, to put that one out. It was just a great again. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News. Thanks for tuning in.